Part 30. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 292. The off-road vehicle parked in the underground garage. Lin Feng and several others came out. Li Xingguo smiled and said, "Let's eat Chinese food or Western food." Lin Feng said, "Let's have Chinese food, so I can eat more easily." The three beauties next to them all laughed, and Zhao Fei joked, "Not only do you have a lot of food, but you also have a good appetite. You must eat more today." Lin Fengzin said that my appetite is okay, but my alcohol intake is not very large. If I encounter something that is very drinkable, I can't drink it. He said, "I'm afraid of eating this 5-star hotel down." Another laughter. Among them, only Li Xingguo had been here a few times before, so he was the only one who was very familiar with it. He suggested going to the Prana Brewery to eat, but Lin Feng and the others had no objection. The Prana Brewery is luxurious, elegant, and quite artistic. Lin Feng and several others took their seats. Li Xingguo first put the exquisite menu in front of Lin Feng and said with a smile, "Dude, I can come together with Zhao Fei, you are the leader. Gong, don't save me money, or you will look down on me." "Don't worry, I won't save you money. Besides, Li Xiao, you are not someone who is short of money." There were two beautiful waitresses standing next to him. Lin Feng felt that it was necessary to brag that Li Xingguo was very rich. In fact, although Li Xingguo did not reach the level of hundreds of millions, he was far behind Miss Yezi, but he is also a rich man. Although Beijing's consumption is very high, if he has a wealth of tens of millions in his hand, he is definitely not rich. Lin Feng ordered 2 high-priced dishes, and then turned the menu to Dainan, who said, "King Zhu, order it." The most embarrassing moment for Tian Qingzhu finally came. She said shyly, "I won't order, I won't order." Zhao Fei said, "What's so difficult about ordering food, just order whatever you want." Lin Feng said, "Qingzhu, you order it, oh, I'll help you with some advice." Zhao Fei wanted to say it. "You let her make her own, what can you give her advice?" But in front of Lin Feng, she didn't have the guts to challenge. Under Lin Feng's staff, Tian Qingzhu ordered a medium-priced dish, which was also a good meal for one. Tian Qingzhu himself did not have a clear distinction between appetizers and meals. This dish was ordered by chance, and it can be said to be quite level. The dishes ordered by Dainan and Zhao Fei were not cheap, and the menu finally fell into Li Xingguo's hands. He showed his super potential and ordered several expensive dishes in a row, which made the 2 waitresses standing next to them admired. Delicious food. Cool premium beer. Toast between glasses. The atmosphere became more and more active. Except for Tian Qingzhu, who was a little reserved, the others were extremely unrestrained. Even though he was very reserved, Tian Qingzhu was a little too drunk when he was only halfway through the meal. He wanted to go to the bathroom, but he was embarrassed. His slender legs were sometimes tight and sometimes separated. Gradually, I became a little restless. Dainan wanted to mobilize the atmosphere and make the atmosphere of the scene even more exciting. She planned to make fun of Lin Feng and Tian Qingzhu, and said with a smile, "Lin Feng, did you touch Qingzhu's leg? Look, she is restless, you boy, bear with it. Don't interfere with the beautiful bamboo's meal." Dainan wanted to mobilize the atmosphere, but what she just said just made Li Xingguo laugh out loud. Tian Qingzhu was very embarrassed, and Lin Feng was not very embarrassed, but when he saw the beautiful bamboo so embarrassed, he also became embarrassed. Zhao Fei just smiled meanly, and soon her face turned sullen, as if she wanted to ridicule Tian Qingzhu. Li Xingguo could be said to have seen 6 ways, and quickly pinched Zhao Fei's thigh, only then did Zhao Fei laugh twice. Tian Qingzhu whispered, "Sister Nan, I want to go to the bathroom." Dainan also gave up. She planned to finish the joke at this special moment, and said with a smile, "Let Lin Feng accompany you." This time, Li Xingguo and Zhao Fei both laughed. Tian Qingzu's delicate face turned red, and with the stimulation of alcohol, even the delicate skin on the neck turned red. It was a drunken red. Wine makes her drunk, and people make her drunk. Tian Qingzu's teeth began to bit her red lips, and she was so embarrassed that she was embarrassed, maybe she even thought of running away. Tian Qingzu really thought of running away, running quickly and then disappearing instantly, but if she ran away, wouldn't it spoil the atmosphere? Lin Feng said, "Let's go, I'll accompany you." Under the reward, there must be a brave man, and the reward Lin Feng received was the embarrassment of the beautiful bamboo drunk. Oh! Tian Qingzu had to go to the bathroom immediately, otherwise she might wet her panties. She was wearing a skirt. If she didn't control her well, the consequences would be serious. She finally came to a 5-star hotel for dinner, but she couldn't lose such a big person. Following Lin Feng's footsteps towards the bathroom, Tian Qingzu said angrily, "Brother Feng, you are so annoying. Can't you say, let me come alone?" Lin Feng said, "Even if you don't come, I will come. I was suffocating my urine." "You bastard. Whether I'm a or not, I'm still holding my urine." If Lin Feng was really honest, it would be easy for people to collapse. At this time, Tian Qingzu collapsed and shouted at him, "I really convinced you." The men's and women's bathrooms are separated on both sides. Lin Feng and Beauty Zhu shush together. Lin Feng is standing, and Beauty Zhu is squatting. After shushing, Lin Feng and Beauty Zhu met again, and Beauty Zhu said, "Don't go there first, just stand here for a while, I'm really drunk and a little dizzy." Lin Feng said, "Have you vomited?" Tian Qingzu said, "I didn't vomit, just a little dizzy." Lin Feng said, "You drink a lot more than I thought, and you didn't drink much just now." Tian Qingzu said that you also called me when you came to such a good place to eat together, that is, you can look up to me, and I must show my sincerity. Lin Feng said, "Do you like it here?" Tian Qingzu said, "It is really luxurious here, and I like it very much." Lin Feng said that if you go back to Qiushan town in Shu province, there will be no such high-end places. Some places in Shu province are also relatively prosperous. Reliable mountain town is indeed a lonely place. When you travel, seeing high mountains will make people happy. But living in a mountain nest every day will be depressing, especially for someone like you who has lived in the bustling metropolis for a few years, it will be even more depressing. Tian Qingzu said, "Don't say it, I understand what you mean, I like the atmosphere here very much, but I didn't say that I live in this kind of drunkenness every day, this kind of luxury, come to me say, once in a lifetime is enough." Lin Feng knew that what he said just now made Mei Zhu angry, and regretted that he should not try to call Mei Zhu at this time. 99% of people are afraid of losing opportunities. Even if they don't have the chance, they have to find ways to create opportunities. Does the beautiful Zuhan want to be the 1% of people, reject the kindness of the Beijing Normal University, and insist on returning to Qiushan town in Shu province? Lin Feng was in a good mood before urinating. Although he was holding back his urine, it didn't affect his mood very much, but after hearing what the beautiful bamboo just said, his mood became worse. At the same time, Li Xingguo, Dainan, and Zhao Fei were also chatting hotly, and the topic revolved around Lin Feng and the beautiful bamboo. Dainan said, "I sincerely hope that Lin Feng and Mei Zhu can come together. Such a beautiful and outstanding girl, it would be a pity if she just appeared by her side but missed it. No matter from which perspective, Mei Zhu is very good. It is suitable for Lin Feng to be a wife. After getting the certificate, we can make money together. The life in Beijing is very nourishing. After the Beauty Zhu stays at school, it will be a matter of time to solve the Beijing household registration. Now that she has a collective household registration, the school will naturally move her household registration. Come here, and then she will give birth to a fat boy for Lin Feng, the life of a family." Seeing Li Xingguo's surprised expression, Dinan was embarrassed to go on, but her heart was still very surging. As a special good friend of Lin Feng, she hoped that Lin Feng would be happy. Li Xingguo said, if Lin Feng can get Beauty Bamboo, it's really a good thing, but do you think that Lin Feng and Beauty Bamboo can get to the day they get the certificate? Beauty Bamboo hasn't graduated yet, but Lin Feng has graduated twice. After 3 years, even if Mei Zhu chooses to stay in school after graduation and becomes a teacher at Beijing Normal University, can you be sure that she and Lin Feng will not break up for other reasons? Dinan was very annoyed, and even wanted to quarrel with Li Xingguo in the prosperous place of the Kempinski Hotel, but after thinking about it, let it go. Dinan smiled relievedly and said, it's not the problem of not graduating, but where will the beauty zoo go after graduation? If she doesn't go back to Qiaoshan town in Shu province, then she and Lin Feng will be able to get together. The beauty zoo is a persistent girl, even in love, she will be very persistent. If she is with Lin Feng, then in her concept, it is enough to have Lin Feng as a man in her life. Although there are many women in life who have a curious attitude towards men, but Beauty Bamboo is definitely not one of them. Dai Nangzhen said that Lin Feng's ability in that area is very strong, and he made Miazu comfortable several times, and Miazu was very dependent on him. Her husband is fierce enough, which is definitely a huge happiness for a woman. Li Xingguo said, what if Lin Feng and Qingzu are okay and Qingzu finally leaves? Dai Nan said, this. What is this? Zhao Fei was in a hurry, and her hand patted Dai Nan's fragrant shoulder hard. Don't try to match Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu, you and Lin Feng are the most suitable. Dai Nan's face was sullen, and he said coldly, tomorrow you and Li Xiao will get the certificate. Now that you are very happy, I will not repair you. Otherwise, I will give you 2 slaps. How many times have I repeated to you? You still don't understand my thoughts. It is absolutely impossible for me to be Lin Feng's girlfriend. Zhao Fei was very aggrieved, and tears were about to flow out. Li Xingguo lit Zhao Fei's nose and said, that's what you should be. What's wrong? Dai Nan was right just now, so you, don't think about her and Lin Feng together in the future. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 293. Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu came over, and after they sat down, several people continued to eat and drink. Tian Qingzu, who was already a high drinker, didn't refute anyone's face. When someone toasted, they drank it, and Lin Feng did not block the wine for Tian Qingzu in this special atmosphere. When she was about to leave, Tian Qingzu didn't even have the ability to walk on her own, so she could only let Lin Feng and Dai Nan support her. Dai Nan quickly felt that Lin Feng could just support Tian Qingzu by herself, so she flashed away. Aside. Lin Feng hugged Tian Qingzu's graceful waist, and most of Tian Qingzu's body was attached to Lin Feng's body as he walked out step by step. Walking out of the Kempinski Hotel, I saw 2 people called by Li Xingguo from Jinwu Center. Li Xingguo said, Lin Feng, Dai Nan, Qingzu, the 3 of you are going in that Audi, and Zhao Fei and I will not give it away. Tomorrow, Zhao Fei and I will get the certificate. When the wedding banquet is over, we will have a rest. Lin Feng, Dai Nan, and Tian Qingzu once again congratulated Li Xingguo and Zhao Fei. Then they all sat in the back row of the Audi car. The driver was a Sanda coach from Jinwu Center. Song, talking about Kung Fu. Life is in full bloom in the car, and blood is boiling because of Kung Fu. The Sanda coach admired Lin Feng's Kung Fu very much, and admired Lin Feng's leg work quite a bit. He also agreed with Lin Feng's concept of Kung Fu. Listening to the 2 of them chatting, Dai Nan and Tian Qingzu also admired Lin Feng very much. Whenever there is a feeling of admiring Lin Feng, Dai Nan's body will be wet, and even her are wet at this time. Whenever there is a feeling of admiring Lin Feng in particular, Tian Qingzu's heart will be moist. At this time, her heart will be moist like lake water, and sometimes emotional ripples will appear in the clear. Soon I arrived at the familiar street. It was already past 9 o'clock in the evening. Even if the shutters of Fengnan fashion store continued to open for business, they had to close after more than an hour. It might sell for more than 200 yuan, maybe a penny. Can't sell. Dainan finally decided. I won't open the shutter again this evening. My mother really wants to make money, but she also needs to rest. At this time, my mother is drinking too much. At this time, my little pants are wet, and it is necessary for my mother to rest. Thinking like this, Dainan's softness touched Lin Feng's body. The heat was transferred at that moment, as if it was an electric shock. Lin Feng was electrocuted, but everything was normal for him, as if Dainan's softness just didn't touch his body. The Audi stopped at the gate of Beijing Normal University, after Lin Feng, Dainan, and Tian Qingzu got off. Lin Feng proposed to send Tian Qingzu back to the dormitory, but Dainan proposed to let Tian Qingzu sleep with her. Dainan is definitely no longer a homosexual, so she proposed to let Tian Qingzu sleep with her, without any attempt to get wet, just wanted to take the opportunity to bring Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu closer again. Lin Feng is also very clear about this. Dainan is persevering to help him, and his inner feelings can no longer be described simply by moving. If Dainan is more than 15 years older than him, he will recognize Dainan as his godmother, but unfortunately, Dainan is younger than him. Tian Qingzu didn't want her roommates to see her drunkenness, so there would be some scandals, so she agreed to sleep with Dainan. Lin Feng returned to the master bedroom where he lived. Dainan opened her partition door and smiled at Tian Qingzu. Came in one after the other. There is no sofa in Dainan's partition room, there is a bed and a small chair. Both beauties sat on the bed. Tian Qingzu said, "Sister Nan, I can't sit still, and everything around me is spinning. I lie down. Lie down for a while." Seeing Tian Qingzu lying on the bed, Dainan felt a little depressed. She didn't want Tian Qingzu to fall asleep so soon. Otherwise, if you sleep until dawn, you won't be able to go to Lin Feng's room. Dainan's ultimate goal is to let Tian Qingzu go to Lin Feng's room. Even if Lin Feng doesn't have a relationship with Tian Qingzu this night, he can further shorten the distance between the two. Dainan thought of using the computer to play songs and the dance music started. I'm afraid Tian Qingzu won't be able to fall asleep, but is it appropriate to torture her like this? Dang Nan thought that torturing her was for her own good, so he made up his mind. Dainan's computer is connected to a pair of small speakers. Although it is not as shocking as a subwoofer, the sound that comes out is also very beautiful. When playing dance music, it also has a little sense of rhythm. The sound insulation of the partition room was terrible. In order not to disturb people in other rooms, Dainan didn't make too much noise, but the rhythm of the dance music had already come out. Dainan used to be the lead dancer in Menfei Yang Disco for a long time. Once her graceful body dances, it will be extremely hot and charming, which is quite infectious. Where is Dream Flying Disco? It is a famous intoxicating place in Beijing City. The boss, Black Rose, is a powerful force in the underground world. There are many rich and prestigious people who go there to play. Leading dance is a very special profession. If you can't dance well, I'm afraid I can't even hold on for half an hour and I'll be bombed. Dainan dances very well. It is so hot that it makes men nosebleed, so she is known as a dancing elf. She is extremely sensitive to dance music. Although the sound of dance music is very small at this time, Dainan still stands beside the bed and dances. Her hips swayed vigorously, her arms swayed, her slender legs trembled lightly, even her long hair fluttered, and the light from her eyes was habitually blurred. The beautiful girl Takemoto lying on the bed was half asleep and half awake, and Dinan quickly woke up after such a tossing. The scene in front of her was shaking, and Dinan's body was shaking. The beautiful bamboo complained, "Sister Nan, you torture me to death, I'm sleepy, you don't let me sleep, what dance are you doing? My good friend Zhao Fei will get the certificate with Li Xingguo tomorrow, I'm very excited, I have to dance." Dinan said in his heart, "If I don't torture you, won't you fall asleep? If you sleep until dawn, how can you go to Lin Feng's room?" Tian Qingzu is a very tolerant girl. Since Dinan really wants to dance, let her continue to dance. Recultivation of sleepiness, but the loud dance music made her unable to fall asleep no matter what, she could only sit up and lean against the bed, her beautiful face was pink, her eyes were extraordinarily blurred, or she could use confusion to describe the beauty Zhu's eyes at this time. More appropriate. 20 minutes later, Dinan found that the beautiful bamboo was completely awake. It is estimated that she is more awake now than before she didn't drink. Dinan stopped dancing, turned off the music, and the moment her body was tilted, her round buttocks sat on the bed with great force. The bed trembled along with the bodies of the two beauties. Dinan smiled and said, "Why don't you sleep?" Tian Qingzu said aggrieved, "It's strange to be able to fall asleep, oh. Why don't you dance, aren't you very excited?" Dinan said, "I'm not so excited now, so I don't want to dance, oh, or you go to bed, I'll be quiet." Tian Qingzu said, "But I'm not sleepy now, and I don't want to sleep." "Oh, let's chat." Dinan laughed and said, "Qingzu, you and I didn't have a good time chatting with Lin Feng, why don't you go and talk to him?" Tian Qingzu snorted, "Sister Nan, I think you did it on purpose to wake me up. You don't dance anymore." "No. Absolutely not." "Okay, my good sister Nan, you don't need to explain, anyway, I don't really blame you, just chat with me for a while," Tian Qingzu said. "Okay, you can say it, I will listen." "I will be a very loyal listener," Dinan said. "Sister Nan, you already know my family situation very well, even better than my roommate and teacher Shang. You know, I have suffered a lot in the past. I heard from my father that I am less than 1 year old. When my mother was breastfeeding other children, I was so hungry and crying, I never blamed my mother, because she is a great woman, she is my role model. When I grow up, I will play with toys, but I don't have any toys. I can only play with stones and mud, tie the grass to my hair with the few red headbands I have, and run around the streets, and then I go to school. All my pencils are sharpened. I threw it away when my little hands couldn't grasp it. I really wanted to use a mechanical pencil, but my parents used money to buy mechanical pencils for the children around me, but I didn't have one. The first pen I used was my mother's a lot in 2018, the nib of the pen was ground flat, and the characters I wrote were very thick. In order to make the pen write thinner strokes, I used a grindstone to sharpen the nib, but the nib was worn out. I was scared and cried. After a long time, my parents didn't blame me. They bought me a new pen for 8 yuan. I was so excited that I began to hope that the teacher would leave more homework. I wanted to use the new pen to write homework, but I was afraid that the nib of the pen is flat. In fact, I also like to eat good food. When I see other children eating delicious snacks, I will swallow. Later, a hateful little girl said to my mother, "Mr. Li, your daughter I swallowed when I saw me eating." My mother was very shameless and spanked me. Later, when I saw other children eating snacks, they would still swallow, but I would not swallow in front of them. Now, my grades have always been very good. I have won a lot of certificates and prizes. Most of the prizes are hardcover books. What's broken is that my wonderful mother, that great woman, who died before she could see my college acceptance letter, was crushed to death by a house that crashed down, bled a lot, died horribly. My dad also had a broken leg. I often dream of that scene. The people who bleed were my parents, who gave birth to me and raised me. My heart is about to break, maybe my heart has long been it's broken, you just can't see it. The beauty bamboo burst into tears. Dinan burst into tears. Dinan said, your mother, that great woman, she has been watching you from heaven, she hopes you can live a good life in the bustling metropolis, make up for everything lost in the past. Tian Qingzu said, Sister Nan, don't you think that if I stay in Beijing, I will be too far from my mother? Her grave is in Qiushan town, Shu province, not far from the school. Dinan said, the soul of a person can fly. Her soul flew from the mountains in Qiushan town, Shu province to Beijing, and it didn't even take 5 minutes. Tian Qingzu said, faster than a plane. Dinan said, faster than a plane. Tian Qingzu said, can the human soul be so magical? Dinan said, yes. Humans are inherently magical. They breathe, talk, walk, eat, cry, laugh, get angry, and do things. When they are good, they breathe. So the human soul is even more magical. Continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 294. When she heard Dinan talking about doing that, Tian Qingzu's delicate face turned red again. She had never done it before, and she seldom thought about it. Even if there was a little ambiguity after knowing Lin Feng, all she could imagine was kissing and fondling. Tian Qingzu's roommates often talk about matters between men and women, and even after watching that kind of film a few times, each time they strongly request Tian Qingzu to join, but Tian Qingzu doesn't participate at all. Once her roommate played a very evil game, and ran towards her with a computer that was playing that kind of movie, shouting, "Bamboo, look at it, the ups and downs are so hot." Tian Qingzu closed his eyes in an instant, and pushed the roommate away with great force. The computer almost fell to the ground when the roommate's body was slanted. He couldn't help complaining in his heart. It can let her see the scene of the beautiful woman swaying her buttocks gracefully. Tian Qingzu said, then we ate at the Kempinski Hotel, did my mother's soul see it? Dinan said, I must have seen it. She is very happy to see her daughter sitting in such a luxurious place to eat, because she has never been to such a good place before, and she has never eaten such a good thing, so she is very happy. I want you to enjoy it all. Tian Qingzu said, is it true? Dinan said, if you don't believe me, ask Lin Feng. Tian Qingzu said, Sister Nan, I know you really want me to chat with Brother Feng, but Brother Feng should be asleep now, he drank a lot. Dinan said, no, why don't you go take a look? It's probably a code word. It's very exciting to type on the keyboard. Oh, that's fine. Tian Qingzu also felt that Lin Feng was more likely to code words. Under the stimulation of alcohol, maybe he would code a very nice plot. She arrived at Lin Feng's door and hesitated for a moment before knocking on the door. Lin Feng was already lying on the bed, when he was at the Kempinski Hotel. His performance was very good, but he insisted on it, and he persisted along the way. As soon as he returned to his master bedroom, the sky was spinning. He lay down on the bed and closed his eyes slightly, as if everything around him was still spinning. Lin Feng admired how strong his endurance was, and the wine was so good that people around him mistakenly thought that he didn't drink too much. Heard a knock on the door. Lin Feng opened his eyes and reacted for a while before getting out of bed to open the door. What he saw was Tian Qingzu, who was beautiful and graceful. The beautiful face and towering chest had such a strong visual impact. The beautiful bamboo gave him a bright smile. Brother Feng, I didn't affect your code, did I? No. Lin Feng was a little embarrassed, in the eyes of Beauty Bamboo. He had been coding just now, but he had been lying in bed sober. Lin Feng really wanted to wake up from being drunk. Even if he used alcohol to relieve his worries, he really wanted to wake up quickly after being drunk, because the feeling of being drunk didn't make him comfortable. Beauty Bamboo doesn't need to be careful, her steps are very elegant, just like this kind of elegant temperament, and her beautiful face are innate. When she walked in, she saw that Lin Feng's computer was turned off, and he was definitely not coding, but lying on the bed to rest. Tian Qingzu was very embarrassed, her face was like a peach blossom again. She whispered, "I'm sorry, Brother Feng, I affected your rest. Then I'll go out first." Lin Feng casually turned on the computer, put on a very casual posture, and said with a smile, "It's nothing, I just lay down for a while." "What are you going to do now?" "Numbers." Lin Feng admired himself a little, but he actually told Tian Qingzu that he was going to code now, and some people could write more the more they drank. But Lin Feng didn't want to write anything after drinking a little, not to mention that this time he drank too high, and he was completely out of state. "Brother Feng, you are amazing." When Lin Feng opened the page, Beauty Bamboo stood beside him. Although he smelled of wine, he also smelled the wine on Beauty Bamboo's body, as well as the aroma of her skin. What is the most appropriate thing to do in this state, of course, is to hug the beautiful woman and make out. Even if he is very dizzy, he can entangle with the beautiful woman for thousands of rounds. Legend has it that men will last longer when they are drunk, maybe because alcohol numbs a person's sensitive nerves, allowing them to endure softer, warmer stimulation for longer. At this time, Tian Qingzu was by his side, absolutely beautiful and a top beauty, but could he be entangled with the beautiful Bamboo for 3,000 rounds? Beauty Bamboo is still a first-time daughter. If she did it for more than an hour for the first time, wouldn't it be so painful? Not only unscientific but also inhumane, can't. Tian Qingzu was also looking at Lin Feng's book page and smiled, "The click and recommendation votes are so high, I'm very happy for you." Lin Feng said that for me at this stage, it is a miracle that I can have such a good effect. I thought I would be able to achieve this effect in 2 years, but I achieved it ahead of schedule. Tian Qingzu said, "Because you are a very level person and a persevering person." Lin Fengzin said that the sensation of Yang Chun Baixu was inseparable from it. Although I never wanted to increase my popularity in this way, she did help me a lot, but unfortunately, I couldn't find her. This evening, Lin Feng didn't want to talk to Tian Qingzu about the topic of spring and white snow. Since Tian Qingzu didn't mention it just now, he didn't mention it either. Lin Feng closed the page of his novel, opened the document, and quickly scrolled down. At the same time, he was also thinking about where he code was last time, but he couldn't remember it, and it seemed that he was not in the state. Fortunately, every time he finished coding, he would make a brief comment on the plot that would appear next. After reading the few lines of simple text, he remembered what he should remember, and he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Otherwise, in front of the beautiful Bamboo, it would be very embarrassing to not be able to code a word for 10 minutes. Lin Feng began to tap the green axis mechanical keyboard. Even if Tian Qingzu, a top beauty with a scent, inspired him, his speed was not very fast, basically dozens of words per minute, and he was not satisfied with the plot. Tian Qingzu was very quiet and kept looking at it carefully. She found that Lin Feng had written very well just now, but she didn't know that Lin Feng even had the heart to delete these hundreds of words. "It's great," Tian Qingzu gave a heartfelt compliment. Lin Feng smiled slightly and continued to code down. At this time, he had already coded 1,500 words, but he could not be satisfied. When Tian Qingzu saw Lin Feng's brows wrinkling, he wondered, "What's the matter with you, don't you have a stomachache?" Lin Feng said that his stomach didn't hurt, but the content that I just coded didn't satisfy me. Unfortunately, I can't ask for it anymore. Brush. There was no sound at first, but Tian Qingzu's heart swiped, because Lin Feng deleted all the content that he had just coded. Lin Feng became silent. Beauty Bamboo also began to be silent. She understood in an instant that it was because she wanted to see Lin Feng code words, so Lin Feng typed words, otherwise Lin Feng would lie on the bed and sleep. The beautiful Bamboo was very moved, with crystal tears in her eyes, not knowing whether she should leave or stay by Lin Feng's side. Lin Feng smiled and said, "Qingzu, what's wrong with you? There are tears in your eyes, I think you are about to cry." "Nothing." The moment the beautiful Bamboo said it, tears in her eyes also flowed out, and she threw herself into Lin Feng's arms with great force. Soft came. Warmth is coming. The aroma is stronger. A very high-quality beauty, a very high-quality body, and Lin Feng are closely attached to each other at this moment. Lin Feng even froze. Almost a minute later, he didn't even make a move to hug Tian Qingzu, but Tian Qingzu's body did not move away, the towering chest was still squeezing his body. It was obvious that he was expecting a kiss from him. If Lin Feng doesn't kiss, the beautiful Bamboo will be disappointed. It was an easy thing to do, so he didn't want to disappoint the beautiful Bamboo, so he kissed her soft, rosy lips. When the two people's lips are pressed together, the ecstasy will come, and when the two's tongues are entangled together, the ecstasy will be even more. During the kiss, Tian Qingzu's breathing became more and more rapid, and the towering chest that squeezed Lin Feng's body was also rising and falling. It seems that it is not easy for Tian Qingzu to think of the word eating tofu, but when Lin Feng started to touch her chest, Tian Qingzu thought of the word eating tofu. That's right. Lin Feng is eating her tofu. Do you want him to continue eating? After hesitating for a moment, Beauty Bamboo decided not to interrupt this romance. More than 10 minutes later, the red lips of the two separated, and Lin Feng's hand was still pressing on the towering chest of the beautiful Bamboo. "Oh ah! Brother Feng, your hand." The beautiful Bamboo shouted shyly, and then Lin Feng moved his hand away and smiled awkwardly, "I'm sorry, I made you feel uncomfortable just now." Tian Qingzu said, "It's not uncomfortable, I'm very comfortable." Lin Feng said with a smile, "Kissing you is comfortable or touching you?" Tian Qingzu said, "That is comfortable." "Oh, Brother Feng, you are so annoying." Beauty Bamboo thumped Lin Feng with her pink fist a few times and sat down on the sofa. Lin Feng sat beside her and said with a smile, "This semester is almost over, what are the plans for the summer vacation?" Tian Qingzu said, "I plan to go home, and I will help you and Sister Nan's shop the rest of the time." Lin Feng said, "I'll go back with you, I've never been there before, and I really want to see it." Tian Qingzu said that the place is too mountainous, and you are not writing local novels. If you go to that place, it will affect your fashionable writing. Lin Feng said with a smile, "I am indeed easily affected by the environment. Even if the novel I conceived has the city as the background, it is not that I can't write things that are too imaginative. I went back with you, enjoyed the scenery there, felt the customs there, and it didn't have such a big impact on me." Tian Qingzu said, "I will not let you go back with me, I want to go back alone." To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 295. Lin Feng really wanted to go to Quashan town in Shu province to have a look, but he also knew that even if he continued, Miyazu would not take him back with him. Miyazu was not afraid of affecting his mood, but he didn't want to let him go. He followed along, and the reason, I am afraid only the beautiful Bamboo knows. Lin Fengzin said, "If you are my girlfriend by the time of summer vacation, will you still not let me go back with you? But when the summer vacation comes, will the beautiful Bamboo be his girlfriend?" 20 minutes passed before I knew it. Just now, Lin Feng's thoughts were like traveling around the world. When he looked at Tian Qingzu's beautiful face again, he found that she was asleep. In this case, there was the stimulation of alcohol and the stimulation of various situations. The beautiful bamboo finally fell asleep. Lin Feng was afraid that it would disturb her, so let her continue to sleep, maybe half an hour or an hour later. She will wake up. Lin Feng went to browse the news on the web. After an hour, the beautiful bamboo not only did not wake up, but slept more soundly. Could it be that the beautiful bamboo was sleeping in his room this night? When this idea came up, Lin Feng's body was very tall and straight, but he didn't plan to do it. Lin Feng walked towards the door with very light steps, and then opened the door with very light movements. He knocked on the door of Dinan's room. Dinan was already asleep, but when she heard the knock on the door, she woke up soon, opened the door and saw Lin Feng, and instantly showed a charming smile, and quickly suppressed the smile. "Where's Qingzu?" Lin Feng said, "Fell asleep in my room." Dinan said, "It's good, you can finally put your arms around her to sleep." Lin Feng said, "What a joke, I don't want to hug her to sleep, I came to you, just to bring her to you." Dinan didn't say anything, but he closed the door, and Lin Feng soon heard the sound of the door being locked. Dinan actually locked the door. Yanfu was right in front of her, but Lin Feng was a little depressed. At this time, Tian Qingzu was not only beautiful and graceful, but also intoxicated and provoked. Lin Feng was even a little afraid to face it. Returning to the master bedroom, Lin Feng saw that the beautiful bamboo half lying on the sofa was very provocative, and her chest seemed to be bigger. The legs that were already slender seemed to be longer. You can't let the beautiful bamboo fall asleep in this position all the time, so the quality of sleep is too poor, and you may feel tired when you wake up in the morning. After thinking for a moment, Lin Feng picked up the beautiful bamboo and walked towards the soft big bed, put her on it gently, and then Lin Feng also lay on it. Beauty Bamboo's face is quiet. Beauty Bamboo's chest was heaving. Beauty Bamboo's legs were slightly bent. Lin Feng's body was tall and straight, and he imagined some intoxication. But he did not have the idea of pressing Tian Qingzu. More than an hour has passed, and the beautiful bamboo is still asleep, but Lin Feng has not fallen asleep. He wanted to get out of bed to get a cigarette, but the bed was a little soft, and he was afraid that the moment the bed trembled would make the beautiful bamboo wake up. Never mind. Bear with it. More than an hour later, Lin Feng still did not fall asleep. The sleeping beauty Zhou showed a light smile at the corners of her mouth, perhaps she had a sweet dream. What surprised Lin Feng happened, the beautiful bamboo turned sideways and hugged him unexpectedly. What was even more unexpected happened, the beautiful bamboo's slender legs were raised, and they were pressed against him. Soft and fragrant. The aroma is fiery. Lin Feng began to cry in his heart, "Qingzu, you are so exciting to me, but I know that you didn't mean it, I know what you are doing, but you don't know what you are doing." Lin Feng's hand can touch the beautiful bamboo's body with a slight movement, but it will make him uncomfortable if he doesn't move, although he has been enduring it. But within half an hour, his hand still touched the body of the beautiful bamboo no less than 5 times, either stroking or accidentally touching it. There was a babbling sound between the beautiful bamboo's red lips. She actually woke up, the light in the room was on, and she quickly understood where she was. This is Lin Feng's room. She is on Lin Feng's bed, facing Lin Feng, who is smiling at her. Tears flowed out instantly. This time is not emotional tears, but grievance tears. "Brother Feng, you are so bad, you actually let me on your bed, did you just?" "No, I didn't do anything, I just saw that you were too uncomfortable to sleep on the sofa, so I carried you to the bed. If I did anything to you, you would wake up the first time, the reason you slept soundly just now is because I didn't do anything." Lin Fengzin said, "If I did something to you, it is estimated that you would wake up the moment I took off your panties. When you feel your are taken off, maybe you will struggle hard, maybe you will half push, maybe you'll close your eyes slightly and wait for me to rush into your body, maybe, maybe not, because I didn't take off your pants at all. I believe it. Why did you believe it? Lin Feng said. Because I didn't feel the pain. A woman's first time was very painful. I didn't feel the pain. You definitely didn't touch me. Beauty Bamboo rarely went to talk to people about women's first time, but what she said just now came out naturally, without even blushing. But Lin Feng sounded a little embarrassed, he even blushed a little. The reason is that Beauty Bamboo Tai Chi, if you can get Beauty Bamboo's first time, it's too powerful. Would you hate me if I did that to you just now? Won't. Will you break up with me? Yes, Beauty Bamboo said. I won't hate him, but I will break up with him. The problem is more serious than hatred. Fortunately, I didn't do anything just now. Lin Feng said, my hand didn't touch your pants just now. Tian Qingzu blushed a little at this moment, and said shyly, I said it all, I believe you, since I'm already on your bed, I'll sleep until dawn. Brother Feng, if you can't help it, you can do what you want, but after you do, I'll ignore you again. Qingzu, please rest assured, Brother Feng will be able to afford you. Lin Fengzin said, if you are still worried, then I will go to Dainan to sleep, but I will be kicked out by him. Beauty Bamboo has entered into a sweet dream again. At this time, the smile on the corner of her mouth is even brighter. Such a beautiful girl, smiling so brightly in her sleep, will remind people of a bright future and the most beautiful scenery. Beauty Bamboo's smile is full of positive energy. Lin Feng didn't fall asleep until dawn. When Tian Qingzu woke up, Lin Feng's eyes were closed, but he didn't fall asleep. He even knew that Beauty Bamboo was awake at the first time, because Beauty Bamboo's arm was about 3 centimeters away from him, but it touched his body in an instant. Lin Feng opened his eyes and said with a smile, Qingzu, are you awake, did you sleep well? Tian Qingzu smiled sweetly and said, I slept well, even better than my bed in the dormitory, Brother Feng, thank you. Lin Feng said, why did you say thank you again? Tian Qingzu said, because you didn't touch me, you have nothing to say about your character. But I kissed you and touched your chest, Lin Fengzin said, but he didn't reach for the chest shot. That's what I agree with, I mean, you didn't take the opportunity to give me to that, so I should thank you, Tian Qingzu said. Lin Feng smiled a little embarrassedly, and said in his heart, if it was with your consent, I would definitely give you that, I would make you very painful, and I would also make you very comfortable. I really want to hear that you are having fun. The shouting came, but I couldn't hear it easily. Lin Feng found that his thoughts were a little evil, and his body was extraordinarily upright. Even if he shouted guilt in his heart, it was useless. We had breakfast together at a nearby restaurant. Tian Qingzu planned to go back to school, Dainan went to the store, and Lin Feng went to the store with Dainan. No customers came in for the time being. Sitting on the chair, Dainan raised Erlang's legs. His slender legs were quite textured, and his expression was mysterious. He smiled and said, have you succeeded? Isn't it ecstasy to break into the beautiful Bamboo's body? Lin Feng said, succeed in your chest, ecstasy your chest. You bastard, let you scold me. Dainan's slender legs kicked Lin Feng, but Lin Feng was too lazy to dodge, so Dainan kicked him. Dainan said, if you don't seize such a good opportunity, you are wasting my good intentions. Lin Feng said, I know you are doing it for my own good, but there are some things I can't do easily. If I do, I have to take the responsibility after doing it. Beauty Bamboo is very special, and I must be responsible for her. Dainan said, your principles doom you to be a good person, but you are not without evil before. Lin Feng said, do you know what Qingzu said to me later? Dainan said, What? She said, if you did that to me, I wouldn't hate you, but I would break up with you. She meant, because I liked me, so I didn't hate me, because I went against her will, so I broke up with me. Break up. Kingzu is really a good girl, is much more excellent than your second beautiful teacher Shangyuna. A girl like Kingzu is not one in a million, but one in a million. If you miss it, when you think about it when your hair is gray, you may regret it so much that you want to go back, Dinan said. Linfeng said, okay, let's go with the flow. I'm annoying, of course, I'm not annoying you, I'm annoying myself. When Linfeng said that he was annoying himself, Dinan's graceful waist twisted, and the charming smile was quite provocative. When Linfeng was going to squeeze Dinan's chest hard, a customer came. Fortunately, I didn't see what Linfeng's gesture was trying to do. Dinan was going to introduce something to the customer. Linfeng said, I'm leaving, and then walked out. Dinan said in his heart, you bastard, you have never cared about your code word business in this small store, so you can't wait to see if the customers who just arrived buy something before leaving. Returning to the master bedroom, Linfeng quickly took off his clothes and pants. He planned to make up for a good night's sleep, and soon fell asleep, but was woken up by a phone call 2 hours later. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Sukifeng. Chapter 296. The call was from Li Xingguo, and he was very excited to tell Linfeng that he and Zhao Fei had already obtained the certificate, and Zhao Fei had officially become his wife. While expressing his blessings, Linfeng also felt quite emotional. The romantic young man Li Xingguo had so many girlfriends before, but he ended up marrying Zhao Fei, a girl who used to be a wine girl and played love games. Fate is such a miraculous thing that it makes people's hearts tremble, so even if Li Yang has a way, it can't stop Li Xingguo and Zhao Fei from coming together according to fate. Maybe it was because he got a marriage certificate and got a wife, and suddenly he felt different from before. Li Xingguo was more concerned about Linfeng's affairs, and kept asking him, buddy, who are you going to get the certificate with? When can you get your certificate? Li Xingguo even wanted Linfeng to be ecstatic, and it was best to have a group wedding together. Linfeng said, in fact, I have reached the age to get married, and I have no idea of getting married later. I think marriage life and career development can go together. Unfortunately, I still don't know who to get the certificate with, and I don't know when to get it. Become a man with a real wife. Linfeng continued to sleep until noon before waking up. After eating, he brought a meal to the store. Seeing that Dinan was eating the fried dumplings he ordered, Linfeng smiled relievedly, I should call and ask if you have ordered. Dinan picked up a fried dumpling, put it in his mouth, and said vaguely, it's okay, let's eat together. Linfeng sat beside her, pinched her stomach, and said with a smile, can you eat so much? Dinan said, you have brought the food, I can't live up to your kindness. Linfeng said, there is no need for this. Dinan said, in fact, because I have a good appetite today, look at the fried dumplings I ordered, only 15, not too big. If it is usually enough to eat, but today is definitely not enough. Linfeng said, because Zhao Fei became Xingguo's wife, so your appetite is particularly good? Dinan said, yes, I'm so happy for her, even if I don't want to mention it. I also have to mention that Zhao Fei and I are people with stories after all. At that time, the electric rod was buzzing, and it is absurd to think about it now, but how intoxicated it was at that time, this world. I most hope that two people will be happy, one is you and the other is Zhao Fei. Linfeng said, what about yourself? Dinan said, what can I do myself? If life is getting better and better, it means that God is favoring me. If life is getting worse and worse, it means that God doesn't want to see me. Lin Feng said, "Do you want to see yourself?" Dinan said, "See what you asked, how can I not wait to see myself? I have a beautiful face and a good figure, with fine skin and tender meat, and I like to see myself." Lin Feng said, "I'm waiting to see you too." Dinan said, "Get out of here." Lin Feng wanted to touch Dinan's chest. But his cell phone rang. He took it out and saw that it was an unfamiliar number, but it showed that it was Guangzhou's number. Lin Feng immediately thought of Bai Shan, and his brain felt congested. Could it be that Bai Shan is calling this call? Is Bai Shan in Guangzhou or Beijing at this time? But if you can't confirm it, it shouldn't be too abrupt. Lin Feng picked it up. He smiled and said, "Hello, who are you looking for?" "Lin Feng, you are still so polite. People who don't know you don't know you're tough." "I'm Bai Shan, can you still hear my voice?" "I can hear it. As soon as you called my name, I heard it. How are you doing?" Lin Feng is not as simple as being excited. He has mixed feelings. Bai Shan is his first woman. At that time, he got Bai Shan's soft and moist first girl body, and at the same time ended his first boyhood body. After that, Bai Shan did not become his girlfriend, but started an absurd career. No matter what Bai Shan did, Lin Feng never despised her, because Bai Shan was very interesting to him, and he was not qualified to despise Bai Shan. Bai Shan's words made her cry a bit. "I can't say a word or two on the phone. I'm in Beijing. I arrived yesterday afternoon. Is it convenient for you?" "It's very convenient, come here, I still live in that house, and you are very familiar with it," Lin Feng said. "Okay, I'll go over here, you wait for me." Maybe Bai Shan shed tears, maybe Bai Shan's tears have been rolling in her eyes all the time, but she must be very sad. Lin Feng didn't know if Bai Shan was sad because of a bad life, or because she wanted to see her. Dinan looked at Lin Feng's face and jokingly said, "Looking at your appearance, I will see Bai Shan soon, and your soul will fly away." Lin Feng said, "I'm not afraid of your joke, my soul really flew away. Bai Shan is my first woman. Oh, I'm not talking about my girlfriend, it's that one. She is very interesting to me, and I don't want to meet her. How is it with her? I just want to see with my own eyes what she has become now." Dinan said, "I can understand your feelings, and I also know that what you said just now is not hypocritical, because that's what you think, but I think that when you meet Bai Shan, you will definitely be like that. I guess Bai Shan will be very happy. Take the initiative to strip naked in front of you, and then take off your panties, so that you can see her breasts, see that part of her. Maybe. You can't get on if she takes it off," Dinan said. "Superior. So frank," Dinan said. "If she takes it off, she has to go on and hit the ground hard. But the premise is that she is not married and has no boyfriend. The boyfriend I am referring to here is the kind of boyfriend who can be her marriage partner," Lin Feng said. "Your principle is here again." "My principles have always been there," Lin Feng said. "You are a good person. Stop praising me. If Bai Shan is gone, I won't dare to take off my pants." Lin Feng lit a cigarette and started smoking. Under the stimulation of nicotine, he wanted to see Bai Shan even more. Maybe Bai Shan is still the same as before, but she is very dissatisfied with life. Maybe Bai Shan was different from before. She was much richer and was very satisfied with her current life. Bai Shan sent a text message saying that she would be there in about 10 minutes. Lin Feng left the Fengnan fashion store and walked quickly on the road. What flashed in his mind were the previous stories between him and Bai Shan. Bai Shan could always bring him a strong pleasure. Bai Shan will always think of him when he has good things, give him good cigarettes, give him good wine, and give him wonderful pleasure. Even though Bai Shan has done a lot of absurd things before, Lin Feng still wants to shout to Bai Shan, "You are the best." When Bai Shan arrived, Lin Feng breathed a sigh of relief when she just got out of the taxi, because he instantly realized that Bai Shan was doing better than before. The face is still so beautiful, the smile is bright, the figure is still so graceful, the towering are still so firm, the slender legs are still glowing with spring waves, and the high-grade one-piece dress exudes an elegant temperament. Bai Shan walked towards Lin Feng with graceful steps, smiled and said, "Let's go, go to your place." Lin Feng lit a cigarette and savored the aroma of Bai Shan under the stimulation of nicotine. The small universe in his body began to erupt continuously, and his blood boiled, but he was also admonishing himself that without knowing the real situation of Bai Shan, don't touch her easily. He can't continue to sleep with Bai Shan just because he slept with Bai Shan before. What belonged to him before may not belong to him now, and what he could do before may not be able to continue to do now. Arriving at the master bedroom where Lin Feng lived, Bai Shan turned around gracefully, looking around the surrounding scenery. The smile on the corner of her mouth became charming. "Yes, this master bedroom is much better than your previous partition room. This master bedroom is much better than the previous partition room, but it's just a master bedroom. It's not as spacious as the most ordinary one. Let me tell you, what house do you live in on Guangzhou?" At this time, the scent of Bai Shan diffused in the room. What Lin Feng saw was Bai Shan's graceful and hot appearance. His body was tall and straight, and his brain was a little congested, but his heart was still rational. Lin Feng was waiting for Bai Shan's answer, and after hearing her answer, he could basically tell how her life was going. 3-bedroom, more than 120 square meters, my husband bought it before, but now my name has been added to the property certificate. After listening to Bai Shan's words just now, Lin Feng knew that she was already a person with a husband, and she had settled down with Guangzhou. Lin Feng felt a lot easier in an instant. The blurred things were no longer blurred, the worried things were no longer worried, and he knew what to do. Lin Feng sat beside Bai Shan and said with a smile, "Why did you come to Beijing? Did you come alone or with your husband?" Bai Shan said, "I came with him. He worked in a bank in Guangzhou. He came on a business trip, and I came with him. Of course, I didn't come here to accompany him, just to see you." Lin Feng said, "I'm very happy for you. You used to want to work in a bank, but you couldn't do it. Now, I've found a husband who works in a bank. Oh, by the way, what are you doing over there?" "A full-time wife." Bai Shan said, "I have a mortgage and the child has not yet been born. Even if I want to be a full-time wife, I can't do it. I work in a powerful company over there, and my university major is used. The monthly salary is 9,000 before tax money." Lin Feng said, "It's really good that you and your husband had a beautiful childhood." Lin Feng was very happy for Bai Shan. In the past, Bai Shan had to be the lover of the flatbread in order to earn 5,000 yuan a month. Later, she changed jobs and became the lover of Ye Qingchen's father. "My lover, relying on my major, earns a salary of more than 9,000 before tax a month, and has a husband and a house in Guangzhou. Her ability is not much higher than before, but the opportunity has come. Maybe her fate is arranged like this, first absurd and then beautiful." Bai Shan said, "I see your thing surging." Lin Feng said, "My thing is not water, it won't surge, and I'm wearing pants, you can't see anything." Bai Shan said, "But I saw that outline, a very intoxicating outline." Bai Shan's hand actually touched the thing belonging to Lin Feng, and at the moment when she was about to touch the outline, Lin Feng grabbed her hand. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi Feng. Chapter 297. Lin Feng said, "Don't be crazy, you are all married, we can't be fooled anymore. I can warn you, don't mess with me, be careful I slap you. Bai Shan said, even if you want to come, I won't come with you. First of all, I don't want to give my husband a cuckold. Although he is not as tall and straight as you, he loves me very much. Second, I am 2 months pregnant. I want to pay attention to the safety of the child in my belly. Lin Feng said, are you pregnant? Bai Shan said, are you surprised? Although my husband is not as violent as you, he can still get me pregnant. But, although I won't do that with you again, I can always touch you, right? Lin Feng said, if you touch my part, it is equivalent to putting a green hat on your husband. Bai Shan said, that's different. If I just touch you, it's like I saw a green hat in the mall. I didn't buy it, and I didn't put the green hat on his head. What theory is this? Could it be that Bai Shan used this style to talk to her husband before, so she couldn't have scared the man half to death? Lin Feng soon realized that Bai Shan would not say that to her husband, and it is not her style to talk to other people, but it is her style to talk to him, because the two of them passed by together. Lin Feng said, what does your husband look like? Do you have any photos? Let me see. Bai Shan took out her long wallet from her satchel, opened it, and said, look, she looks very average, just 160 feet tall. I'm much taller than him without high heels. Lin Feng looked at it seriously for almost a minute. This photo has not undergone any artistic processing. It basically matches his appearance and body. Lin Feng said, two people live together, you can't just look at the looks. Since you are married to him, don't feel wronged. Bai Shan said, I've never felt wronged, but I think it's good to meet him in this life. He is the kind of person who can rely on for a lifetime, and I myself plan to live with him for the rest of my life. Having his child, I feel very at ease, but... Lin Feng said, but what? Bai Shan's eyes became warm, it should be said that they were moist, and her tears were about to flow, but I don't love him. I feel that he and I are mutually dependent. The only person I really love is you. If you and him fall into the water together, I will save you or not. Lin Feng smiled relievedly, you save him, I can swim. You're so naughty. Bai Shan's pink fist hit Lin Feng's body, but Lin Feng didn't grab her hands. Just let her hit. At the same time, Lin Feng was also thinking, if Bai Shan knew that his income had improved a lot, how would he feel? If Bai Shan didn't choose to be a lover to make money, but instead became his girlfriend after that one, what would it be like now? Time can't be turned back, but people always like to look back and put forward various assumptions that cannot be reversed. Maybe excite yourself, maybe make yourself miserable. Bai Shan said, how much do you earn now? Lin Feng said, I can get about 30,000 yuan in royalties a month. At the same time, Dainan and I have opened a store. The current business situation can generate 5,000 to 6,000 yuan a month. Bai Shan said, that's great. You are now someone who can earn hundreds of thousands a year, more than my husband and I combined. My husband and I can earn 20,000 yuan a month in total. Lin Feng originally suspected that Bai Shan would be the spring and the snow. But he doesn't need to ask here anymore, Bai Shan will definitely not be the spring and the snow. Lin Feng is even more confused than before, and he doesn't even know who Yang Chun Beixiu is. Several people have been excluded so far. Bai Shan said, have you ever thought about a situation, if I didn't mess with you at the beginning, but got along with you and became your girlfriend, and then we two get married? The days will be beautiful. Lin Feng thought of this situation just now, but he absolutely couldn't say this to Bai Shan. He smiled relievedly, I feel a little sorry for you when you say that. I never thought about this situation. Bai Shan smiled and said, you really didn't think about it? Lin Feng said, no. Bai Shangzhen said, although I have done ridiculous things before, I am not stupid at all. I can guess that you have thought about it before, maybe you have thought about it just now. Let me touch it? No. Lin Feng was very distressed. Bai Shan, a beautiful woman, wanted to touch him. What should I do? Bai Shan said, don't think that you can feel at ease if you don't let me touch it. I finally got to Beijing, and it's fine if I can't do it with you. If I can't even touch it, I will be very painful, I will not be reconciled. Do you think that mentality is good for me? Lin Feng said, this kind of mentality is not good, but it is even worse when you touch it. You should stop touching it. Bai Shan said, I'll touch it. Her hand stretched out again, Lin Feng grabbed her hand again, saw her tears flow out, and let go of her hand again. Bai Shan's hand touched Lin Feng's tall and straight, but the matter did not end so easily. Later, she used a soft and rosy mouth to solve Lin Feng's problem once. Lin Feng was very comfortable, but his heart was a little tangled. He said, it's over, your husband's head is still green. Bai Shan said, no green, if green is a dye, then I just grabbed the paintbrush and didn't dye it. If green is a hat, I just picked up the hat but didn't dye it. To his head. If a person wants to find a reason to excuse himself, he can always find all kinds of reasons, and if he can't, he will pretend to be mentally ill. Bai Shan didn't pretend to be mentally ill, but what she said just now was a little crazy. Lin Feng was worried that Bai Shan would be more ambiguous if he continued to stay in his room, but Bai Shan had no intention of leaving soon. Lin Feng said, you go, your husband is still waiting for you. Bai Shan said, he's going to work, and he'll come when he's done. I'll text him on the way here. Lin Feng was a little dizzy and almost fell to the ground. He said depressedly, Bai Shan, you can't do this. I'm very happy to see you, but I don't want to see your husband. Bai Shan said, you don't want to see him, but he wants to see you. Lin Feng said, you told him about the two of us in the past, is your brain flooded? Bai Shan said, I didn't tell him about our past, but he heard me call your name 3 times. Wait, Lin Feng said. What's wrong with you? Go to the bathroom. Lin Feng walked out quickly. Bai Shan laughed, she actually scared Lin Feng to pee. Lin Feng used to frighten others to pee, but this time he was frightened to pee by Bai Shan. He was afraid that it would affect Bai Shan's existing happy life, so he was frightened to pee. After urinating, he was still very uneasy, and he sat next to Bai Shan again. Lin Feng said, under what circumstances did you call out my name? The first time was when I was walking on the commercial street in Guangzhou before he and I got the certificate. I saw a person whose back was very similar to you. I couldn't control my excitement and called out to Lin Feng, but that person was not you. Later my husband asked me, who is Lin Feng? I said a friend, and he asked me, your college classmate? I said no, it was a friend I met in Beijing before. He was very talented and loyal, but he did not continue to ask. The second time was when I got drunk with him and called out your name on the bed. Actually, I was already dizzy and didn't know what I was calling. Later, my husband said to me, I called it out. The thing is, Lin Feng, I'm so uncomfortable, you hug me. The third time I called it out in my sleep. That night, my husband and I had twice, but I think it's better to be with you than to be with him twice. It was fun to do it once, so I called your name in my sleep. My husband heard it, and he was even more sure that my relationship with you was not normal. He knew that the person I love is you. My husband told me, maybe he didn't make me pregnant, but because I called your name, so I got pregnant. If you can get pregnant by calling his name, then he will be the most powerful man in the world. Lin Feng said, this one doesn't need to be a paternity test. No, you bastard. He was very depressed at the time, and he had a black humor. You should also be humorous with him. Bai Shan's pink fist raised again, this time hitting him hard. Lin Feng said, these 3 times, Your husband has forgiven you, you can see that he really loves you. Bai Shan said, he loves me very much, but I really don't love him, but I will spend the rest of my life with him, and sometimes I want to fall in love with him, but I don't know what to love about him, and now I love him. His body and character are very familiar, and it is even less likely that I will fall in love with him, but he is already my relative. There is no love, and the direct result is family affection. This is the evolution process of Bai Shan and her husband's emotions. Lin Feng felt that it was very necessary to say something. He said, actually the two of us are not in love, we are just, I don't go to you because I love you, but because I'm comfortable with you, you let me go first. It's not that you love me, but that you're cool because you let me go. Bai Shan said, it sounds harsh, it is suspected of hurting my self-esteem, but don't worry, my self-esteem has not been hurt. Maybe the sharp words from others' mouths will, it hurts my self-esteem, but you won't, even if you call me a fake, I'll smile and listen. Lin Feng said, why is that? Bai Shan feels that since she can't do it, it's nothing to tease, that's because you make me too comfortable, I'm willing to be slutty in front of you, I love you, while you call me a cheap handmaid, I love you too. Lin Feng was already bombarded and tender on the outside. He could just grab a piece of meat from his body and put it in his mouth to eat it. The phone rang. It wasn't Bai Shan's cell phone, it was Lin Feng's cell phone. Lin Feng was stunned when he saw the call. Bai Shan, I'm afraid there is trouble. What's wrong? You look at the phone, Lin Feng said anxiously. To be continued. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 298. When Bai Shan saw the call, she screamed and jumped up from the sofa. What is she? How does she know I'm here? What should I do? What should I do? It was Miss Ye. Ye Qingchen's daughter Ye, the owner of Hengtu Company, warned Bai Shan before that although you gave my father a green hat, Miss Ben has the virtue of good life and won't kill you. Lin Feng sighed lightly, Ye is really powerful. How did she know when you first came here? It's been so long, I don't believe she sends people to check on you every day. Bai Shan sighed, maybe I clicked my back and let her see it when I was walking on the road. My husband and I were shopping at Kuomao last night. Lin Feng was speechless. He absolutely can't say, you and your husband are here as soon as they come, what are you doing wandering around? Bai Shan and her husband came to Beijing, what happened? No matter where you go, it's nothing. The moment before the phone stopped ringing, Lin Feng picked it up and said with a smile, it's you, Miss Ye, we haven't been in touch for a long time, why did you suddenly think of me, did you dial the wrong number? Yezi, I said, Lin Feng, don't you pretend to be high level in front of me? Do you think you are the best when you talk to me in that tone? I know how much you weigh. Let me ask you, Bai Shan. Is it with you? Even if he took it hard, he couldn't admit it immediately. Lin Feng said, no. Yezi, I said, you fart. Lin Feng said coldly, you are a rich lady worth several billions. You are a rich and prestigious person. Can you speak more gracefully? Yezideo, I talk to a lot of people with grace, but when I talk to you, the villain, I can't be graceful. I know that Bai Shan came to Beijing, and she came with her husband. I also know that Bai Shan is here with her husband. It's by your side now, if you still want Bai Shan and her husband to leave Beijing smoothly. Just cooperate. Lin Feng said, I will cooperate. If you are angry, come to me. When Bai Shan was your father's lover, he still had that kind of relationship with me, and the responsibility rests with me. Yezi, I said, I'm downstairs, open the door for me. So fast. Already downstairs. Lin Feng simply admired Miss Yezi's ability to make a sudden attack, and she always caught him off guard. Lin Feng was very anxious, Bai Shan's face was pale. Vibrato said, what should I do? I was very happy to come here this time. I don't want this trip to become my and my husband's grave. Lin Feng said, maybe it's my grave, but it definitely won't be the grave of the two of you. Maybe it's none of the graves. Ye Zi is just in a hurry to urinate. Come to the bathroom here and leave as soon as it is convenient. Lin Feng and Bai Shan came out together. Lin Feng's eyes suddenly turned black. Not only did he see Ye, but he also saw his first girlfriend Shen Bingqian, and there were two people beside him. One was Hong Ying, and the other was a burly man even taller than him that he didn't know. How did Shen Bingqian get along with Ye? Even if she did a good job in Hungta Company, it would be difficult for her to get along with people from the plane of Ye by her work ability. There must be something odd about it. Shen Bingqian seems to be calm, but Lin Feng can see anxiety in her eyes. At this time, Shen Bingqian must be very worried about his safety. She may still say in her heart, Lin Feng, you are so romantic. Didn't realize you have such great ability. Lin Feng's eyes finally fell on Ye Zi's face. Do you say it here? Or go to me and say it? Ye's face was cold. Go to your place. They went to Lin Feng's master bedroom together, which instantly crowded the originally small room. Ye Zi said, you moved from the partition room to the master bedroom, don't you know what your surname is? Lin Feng said, my surname is Lin. He said in his heart, I am not as simple as moving from the partition room to the master bedroom. I already have more than 1 million people, but the 1 million in my hands is probably the flour for your simple trip or simple shopping. Pin. Ye looked at the tall and burly man beside him. He smiled and said, Thunder Legs, have you noticed that this kid is crazy? He's crazy. He's so arrogant in front of Miss Ye, he must be tired of living. How about I bleed him now? Don't worry, I haven't finished what you need to say, but you can prepare it in advance, and you must show me his blood later, Ye Zi said. No problem. Thunderleg is a very cold and arrogant person, Lin Feng can be sure after searching in his mind. This burly man's kung fu is not called Thunderleg, but his leg skills are too powerful, so he got the name Thunderleg. Lin Feng is a dragon and snake leg. The burly man in front of him is Thunder Legs. So, does the Thunder and Lightning Legs have the ability to bleed the dragon and snake legs? Yes, icy eyes swept across Bai Shan's face. I warned you before that you are not allowed to come after you leave Beijing, but you still come. Come as soon as you come, and hang out with your husband. This is despising me. Back then, I was merciful and didn't leave you with any disability, but you are too ignorant. Bai Shan said, break my legs, don't touch Lin Feng, and tell you by the way, I'm already pregnant, aren't you very cruel? You can lift your legs and kick the child out of my stomach, it's more relaxing. You. The intense anger made Ye's face turn blue, and he said to the people around him, none of you are allowed to touch Bai Shan. Maybe Ye is not an unreasonable person, maybe Ye is not cruel and inhuman, but he has offended her. Lin Feng can only think so. Thinking from another perspective, if he stood in Ye's position, he would also be very angry, maybe he would be more ruthless than what Ye did. Lin Feng said, Ye, can you let them go out first? I want to talk to you alone. Ye Zi hesitated for a moment and said, you go out first. Everyone else went out, and Bai Shan also went out, leaving Lin Feng and Zi in the room. Ye, you are more beautiful than before, your face is so beautiful, you are so big, you're. Seeing Ye Zi pull out a gun, Lin Feng didn't continue talking, he laughed. I've seen people who are not afraid of death. But I have never seen you who are not afraid of death. You let them go out first just to tease me. That's not a tease, that's a compliment, Lin Feng said. Don't come here. I hate that people praise me like this. If I hear someone say this to me in such a playful tone, I will definitely bleed his mouth. Then hit me in the mouth, Lin Feng said. If I hit you, I won't slap you, I won't use my legs, I will use a gun. Yezi opened the insurance, and the atmosphere in the room instantly became more solemn. Lin Feng said, let's get down to business. What I want to tell you is to let Bai Shan and her husband leave Beijing safely. Her husband works in a bank, this time is on a business trip. You are a rich lady, your future, your father has paved it for you, but for ordinary people like us, it is not easy to find a good job. Since we came to this world, we have to live, right? You raised your hand and let them go. Why are you mad at me? Yezi said, you can live, but can you not be a hooligan? Lin Feng said, this fart. Ye was so angry that he finally said foul language, and the gun in his hand smashed at Lin Feng's head, but the muzzle was inclined, and even if it went off, the bullet would not hit Lin Feng. Yezi is a person who knows Kung Fu. The slender jade hand can burst with great power, and the gun body is very heavy, so it hit Lin Feng's head so hard, and suddenly a bag was smashed. It hurts. But Lin Feng didn't freak out, just smiled. I still meant it just now. I hope you will hold your hands high, if you insist on not letting them go. Unless I die, I will definitely blood-bathe Hung to company. I won't get it out for your father's company. A few lives, I will not be named Lin. Let you threaten me. Yezi put away the gun, but took out a very sophisticated throwing stick from her LV bag. Hearing a snap, the swinging stick opened, and slammed it towards Lin Feng's back with great force. Bang bang bang. After throwing the stick several times in a row, Ye looked relieved, but Lin Feng felt a little unbearable pain. Throwing a stick is very powerful. If it is a person who knows Kung Fu and beats people with a good throwing stick, it will be even more powerful. If it weren't for Lin Feng's outstanding fighting ability, he would fall to the ground after a few sticks on his back. Lin Feng smiled reluctantly, the sling stick in your hand is imported, it's very high-end, and it is very powerful to beat people. Although my Kung Fu is good, I also really want a sling stick. The sling stick in your hand, send it to me. Okay, I'll give it to you. The swinging stick in Yezi's hand turned out to be thrown at Lin Feng, not to attack him, but to throw it at will. Lin Feng caught the throwing stick, patted it in his hand, and said with a smile, is it really for me? But it's just a few $1,000, it's nothing to give it to you. Yezichen gave the stick to Lin Feng, but Yezi's eyes were very complicated at this time, and he raised his head and said, can you let them come in? Lin Feng said, the thing that should be promised you haven't agreed yet. Yezi said, Bai Shan is pregnant, no matter what she has done before, now this is about to become a mother, do you think I will hurt her? I don't plan to pay attention to Bai Shan and her husband. No matter how long they stay in Beijing, it's none of my business, and I won't care if they come back later, but this time I'll fix you properly. Lin Feng said, isn't it repaired just now? First hit me with the body of the gun, and then hit me with the swinging stick. Yezideo, it was just a warm-up just now, get ready to enjoy it. As you can see, there is another master beside me, his name is Thunder Leg, kick you to death. Lin Feng said in his heart, I will kill you. At this time, his thing was very tall and straight, because Miss Yezi's face was extremely beautiful, her chest was so full, and her slender legs were so fascinated. Lin Feng really wanted to throw Ye, the rich lady who had repaired him several times, onto the bed, and raised her legs high and pushed her hard. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 299. Several other people came in. Yezi said, Bai Shan, you can go, don't make your husband too anxious, do whatever you need to do, play as long as you want, and in the future you too can come when you want, as if I never said anything before. Bai Shan was frightened and moved at the same time, and Ye's tolerance towards Bai Shan at the critical moment also made Lin Feng feel very comfortable. Lin Feng said, "She can't leave yet, because of some things. I need to chat with her husband." "Oh, her husband is coming soon, we are going to have dinner together, or you should go first, wait for the evening, you can make an appointment, I will look for you." "All right, let's go." Ye took the people away, and the moment Shen Bingqian walked out of the room, she couldn't help but look back at Lin Feng. Lin Feng's eyes collided with Shen Bingqian's. He saw helplessness and confusion in Shen Bingqian's eyes, and he immediately understood everything. The reason why Shen Bingqian and Ye Zi came together was precisely because Shen Bingqian was already Ye, the man of Ye Qingchen's father. Maybe Shen Bingqian is Ye Qingchen's lover, maybe Shen Bingqian has obtained the certificate with Ye Qingchen. The first possibility is more likely, because Ye Qingchen and Shen Bingqian will not be allowed to get the certificate, but it is not ruled out that there is an accident. But this has nothing to do with Lin Feng, because Shen Bingqian is no longer his girlfriend. Lin Feng also knows that when there is a chance in the future, Shen Bingqian will definitely explain to him. No matter what kind of explanation Shen Bingqian gives, he will accept it. He will also tell Shen Bingqian that you don't need to explain to me, because all this has nothing to do with me. Bai Shan threw herself into Lin Feng's arms and cried, and punched Lin Feng's back hard. Lin Feng said with a smile, "Ye hit me on the back several times with a swinging stick just now, I think it's swollen, you still hit me?" Bai Shan realized this. Ye did use that terrible looking stick to slap Lin Feng's back several times. She choked and said sorry to Lin Feng, and later said, "Lin Feng, you are so kind to me, I don't even know how to repay you." At this moment, Lin Feng could only smile bitterly, and said after a while, "Actually, I treat you. It's far from being as good as you treat me. The reason why I am very interesting to you and your husband now is because you were so kind to me before. Also, don't hold me too tightly, be careful of the child squeezed into your stomach." Bai Shan burst into tears. Jiao said, "You are really annoying, how can I squeeze the child in my stomach when I hold you like this? But if you attack my body violently, it may really affect my child. Maybe the child will be born. Come out, there's a hole in your head." Lin Feng laughed funny, and Bai Shan laughed too. What Bai Shan didn't expect was that Lin Feng actually gave her a slap in the face. It was very light. She didn't even feel the pain, but it still slapped her. Bai Shan said aggrieved, "Why are you hitting me?" Lin Feng said, "Because what you just said was too evil." Bai Shan laughed. Bai Shan's husband, the man named Lu Kai, came. He looked very ordinary. He was just over 160 and stood beside the slender Bai Shan. It is much shorter. If the two of them are walking on the road together, 9 out of 10 people who see them will think that the two of them are not a good match. Lin Feng heard people say before that it is a taboo for a woman to be taller than a man to be in love and marriage. It may not be that serious, but it does seem to be a bit out of balance. When Bai Shan and Lu Kai walked on the road of Guangzhou, they probably already attracted the attention of many people. Some people will think a flower was inserted into the cow dung. Some people will also think that the unattractive boy is very beautiful, and he has found such a beautiful woman. Bai Shan's female colleague asked her about Lu Kai's appearance before. "Do you have feelings for him?" At that time, Bai Shan said that he was my husband, and of course I had feelings for him. Another female colleague asked Bai Shan, "How is your husband doing?" She said it was good. The ability of a man is not necessarily related to his height. Some men are tall, but their ability is very poor, and some men are short, but their ability is very strong. Since she became this man's wife, Bai Shan planned to spend the rest of her life with him. Lin Feng can only bless them in his heart again. Perhaps seeing Lin Feng's burly body, Lu Kai felt a little embarrassed and said softly, "Lin Feng, you are very imposing." Lin Feng said with a smile, I don't have any momentum, I'm just an ordinary person. Since you're here, let's talk about Bai Shan. It's your blessing to marry such a good wife. She's very kind, very loving, and very good ability, you have to cherish her. Lu Kai said, it seems that you really know more about her than I do. Lin Feng said, if you say that because you're jealous, then I'm not happy. Lu Kai said, I admit that I am a little jealous, but the reason why I said that just now is that you really know her better than me. Lin Feng said, I knew her before you, no matter what I did with her before, it has nothing to do with you, and she will follow you in the future, she will live with you for a lifetime, so you are very lucky. Lu Kai said, I know, Bai Shan is a good woman, and you are also a good man. Although my heart is a little sour, I still admire you. Oh, in front of Bai Shan, I want to fight you. Field. Lin Feng was sure that he heard correctly. Lu Kai said that he wanted to fight him. Lin Feng smiled relievedly, have you practiced Kung Fu before? South boxing and North legs? Sanda Taekwondo or Muay Thai? Or Jiu-Jitsu? Lu Kai said, I haven't practiced orthodox Kung Fu, but in high school I practiced wild ways with a neighbor. That man is very good at fighting and is a well-known street fighting expert in that area. Lin Feng said, I also admit that there are people who often hang out on the streets who are very good at fighting, but I don't think the wild ways you have learned can deal with me. If you are wise, don't plan to do it. At the same time, Lin Feng also looked at Bai Shan, but Bai Shan was expressionless and didn't mean to dissuade Lu Kai at all. Maybe he felt that he couldn't persuade him, or maybe he felt that fighting against Lin Feng would make Lu Kai feel in his heart. Will be more comfortable. Lu Kai's fist swung over, his speed and strength were very low, and Lin Feng easily grabbed his wrist. Lu Kai wanted to pull out his arm, but couldn't do anything. In a hurry, another fist hit Lin Feng's face again, but Lin Feng was caught again. Lin Feng restrained Lu Kai's two arms. Lu Kai felt powerless and wanted to make Lin Feng bleed a little in front of Bai Shan, thus proving that although he was not tall, he was also a man. Unfortunately, it is not Lin Feng's opponent at all. Depressed, Lu Kai raised his knees and pushed them towards Lin Feng's stomach. Lin Feng's knees also lifted up and collided with Lu Kai's knees. Lu Kai's facial expression distorted, this time it really hurt him, but Lin Feng didn't exert any force at all. Your kung fu is really high. I'm not your opponent at all. You are much stronger than me. Who is strong and who is weak depends on what field you are good at. If you are good at your field, I am not as strong as you. Do you want to hear my evaluation of you? Lin Feng said with a smile. You say. I think you're very nice, I think you're a man, and I think Bai Shan will definitely be happy with you, Lin Feng said. Lu Kai was very moved at this moment. If what Lin Feng said was that you were really over your head, he would be disgraced in front of Bai Shan, but Lin Feng praised him severely. Lin Feng finally let go of Lu Kai's wrist, and Lu Kai breathed a sigh of relief. His wrist hurt a lot, but he didn't go to comfort his wrist. He endured the pain and looked very handsome. Lin Feng chose a very high-end restaurant to invite Bai Shan and Lu Kai to dinner. They both drank a little wine and chatted a lot, but Lu Kai did not try to find out what Lin Feng and Bai Shan had done before. Lu Kai said, I also love to read online novels. I think some online novels are really well written, cleverly conceived, and have a sense of substitution. Lin Feng said that most of the protagonists of online novels are powerful and have a sense of justice, because everyone hopes to be such a person. Many people in this world have positive energy in their hearts, which is brought about by human nature. Of positive energy. Lu Kai said, I will read your novels when I have time in the future. Lin Feng said, thank you for your support. Lu Kai said, I have nothing against you and Bai Shan continuing to date. Even if I become her husband, I can't stop her from being friends with you. Lin Feng said, I treat Bai Shan as a friend, and you as a friend. I hope your life will become more and more happier. If you run into trouble in the future, there will be a place where I can be of help. If you call me, I will immediately fly to Guangzhou to help you. Lu Kai smiled. At this time, it was no longer a sour taste, but a very sincere taste. He understood even more. No wonder Bai Shan was so obsessed with Lin Feng. It turned out that Lin Feng was really charming. Bai Shan also smiled, very moved, and at the same time she emphasized, Lu Kai, since I've become your wife, I won't do anything wrong to you in the future. Lu Kai said, I believe you. Until the end of the dinner, Lu Kai didn't know that Ye, the eldest lady of the chairman's house of Hungtu Company, had already troubled Lin Feng and Bai Shan, and Lin Feng had already warned Bai Shan, don't say this to Lu Kai. Worrying about his safety, just pretended nothing had happened. But Ye Zi wanted the expert thunder and lightning legs beside him to repair Lin Feng. Bai Shan couldn't help worrying about Lin Feng. She had wished Lin Feng not to encounter danger several times in a row. Ye won't let him go easily after he has the thunder leg. He feels more and more that Ye repairs him very well. His style is different from Black Rose but also sharp. He doesn't know how Ye will repair him. After Bai Shan and Lu Kai left, Lin Feng called Ye Zi, and Ye Zi picked up quickly. Busy working. I'm done, Lin Feng said. I pretended to be a good person again, aren't you very comfortable? Whether I am a good person or not, in fact, you also know very well, Lin Feng said. Don't move around, just wait, I'll pick you up right now and take you to a wonderful place. Yes, sarcastic words made Lin Feng panic, and he even said that he was going to take him to a wonderful place, and he didn't know what it would be. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for recommendation and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile users, please go to to read. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi Feng. Chapter 300. The Porsche Cayenne drove over. Ye pressed down on the glass window, and showed a very arrogant smile. Get in the car. Lin Feng sat in the back row. At this time, Hong Ying was driving, and Leiden's legs were not in the car. Lin Feng said, what about the thunderbolt leg? Did you have an accident and went to the hospital? Ye Zi said, there was no accident with the thunderbolt leg, and it was waiting for you in that wonderful place. It is estimated that you will have an accident and be sent to the hospital by the thunderbolt leg. Oh, no, even if you are seriously injured, I will not send you there. In the hospital, let you suffer slowly in that wonderful place. I think that you live by code words. I will try not to leave your hands disabled, but leave your legs disabled. Forget it, if you are a cripple, maybe more readers will remember you. It sounds really cruel, but in Lin Feng's impression, Ye's heart is very kind, otherwise, Bai Shan would never have wanted to leave Beijing, let alone go to Guangzhou and have a new life, and now has a husband, soon to be a mother. Lin Feng didn't want to leave his body with any disability. He hoped that when he was 80 years old, he could walk on the road with flying speed and his arms swaying gracefully. Lin Feng said, are you so sure that thunder legs can beat me? If I lose the thunder leg in the end, will you still use other means to clean up me? This is the question that Lin Feng is most concerned about, but Ye just smiled and did not answer him. There are two different aromas emanating from the leaves and the red shadow floating in the car, which is very intoxicating atmosphere, but Lin Feng's heart is a little flustered, and he is no longer in the mood to savor it. The place is really wonderful. It is a very luxurious villa with a Chinese-style 3-story building with a large courtyard. The cost of such a high-end villa is estimated to be hundreds of millions. Lin Feng guessed that this large villa is Ye's private villa. Ye is very noble and enjoys life. Even if her private villa cost over 100 million yuan, it is not surprising. Go to the living room together. I saw Leiden's legs sitting on the sofa, very stylish and imposing. The cold eyes of Thunder and Lightning legs fell on Lin Feng's face, and he smiled contemptuously, which made Lin Feng very uncomfortable. Thunder legs thought that Lin Feng would say something to him. If Lin Feng could pitifully beg him for mercy, it would give him a sense of accomplishment. Of course, even if Lin Feng really begged him for mercy, he will not be soft-hearted because of this. He intends to make Lin Feng even more sad. But Lin Feng didn't say anything to him, his indifferent eyes seemed to treat him like air. Leiden's legs are extremely uncomfortable. If he doesn't mock Lin Feng immediately, he may go crazy. He sneered, "You are not worthy of being my opponent. If Miss Ye didn't arrange for me to fight you, I wouldn't have to dump you at all." Lin Feng smiled and said, "It hasn't started yet, so you can drag it for a little longer. You'd better seize this short time and drag it to your heart's content. Otherwise, you won't be able to drag it if you want to." Thunderleg was very angry, and immediately wanted to do something to Lin Feng in the living room. Leaf stopped him with a look. "Yezi," I said, "let's go to the third floor together." The group arrived on the third floor. This is a fitness venue. The space of more than 600 square meters is full of fitness equipment. At the same time, there is enough space for Lin Feng and Thunderlegs to play to their heart's content. Lin Feng glanced at the star snooker table, and then looked at the face of Thunderlegs. In the eyes of Thunderlegs, Lin Feng's attitude was too indifferent. He intends to make Lin Feng suffer. Kick off a few bones of Lin Feng, knock out a few teeth of Lin Feng, and then break a leg of Lin Feng, so as to give Miss Yezi a face, and when the news spreads, he will be very face. She took off her shirt, leaving only tight-waisted fat trousers. The muscles of the Thunderbolt legs are very developed, and the strength should be very large. As for the speed, you have to start the fight to know. Thunderlegs looked towards the leaves. He asked with his eyes if he could start fighting. Yezi didn't seem to be in a hurry, walked over with graceful steps, smiled and said, "Lin Feng, it is very necessary for me to briefly introduce Thunderlegs to you. He is very popular inside and outside the circle. A well-known gold medal fighter with powerful legs and great boxing skills. He has caused many people to suffer in the past, but today is you." Thunderlegs? Gold hitter? Your sister? There was a hint of Xiao Sa's coldness on Lin Feng's face, which made Thunderleg's heart even more unhappy. He couldn't control his eagerness to kill Lin Feng to the ground. He rushed towards Lin Feng suddenly, and swiped his fist towards Lin Feng's face. High speed. But at the start, it was his fist, not his thunderbolt legs. The moment Lin Feng dodged, a swipe kicked out, the speed of the lightning leg dodging sideways, and only then did he show his thunder and lightning legs. One by one violent swept legs kicked towards Lin Feng with the sound of the wind. Very sturdy. Very domineering. The powerful leg skills of Thunderlegs exceeded Lin Feng's imagination. Lin Feng was also retreating while dodging, but he still took a kick in the chest and flew out. Yezi and Hong Ying could see clearly. Just now Lin Feng was in a mess. At this time, Lin Feng fell to the ground, and the thunder and lightning legs rushed towards Lin Feng, who fell on the ground. It seemed that he wanted to give Lin Feng a slap kick. Sure enough. The legs of the Thunderbolt's legs kept kicking over, and Lin Feng rolled several times in a row, but he simply didn't let the Thunderbolt's legs kick him, otherwise he would be more seriously injured, and it would be difficult to stand up. Seeing that Thunderbolt's leg kicked over again, Lin Feng pinched the calf of Thunderbolt's leg when he rolled over, and then hit his thigh with a slam. At the moment when Thunderbolt's leg trembled, Lin Feng stood up, punched the back of Leiden's leg again, and the body of Leiden's leg trembled again. Lin Feng's right hand turned into a palm and slammed into the back of Leiden's leg, and Leiden's leg screamed and fell to the ground. The twists and turns turned. At this time, it was not Lin Feng who fell to the ground, but the lightning legs. The expressions of Ye Zi and Hong Ying were obviously different from those just now. If Lin Feng takes the opportunity to continue to attack the Thunder Leg, he is very confident that the Thunder Leg will be seriously injured, but the Thunder Leg is a master that Ye found for Hung to company. If he seriously injured the Thunder Leg, he can only further deepen the relationship between him and Ye. Hatred between Lin Feng's thoughts at this time are clearer. His goal is to defeat the Thunderbolt Legs and minimize the damage to the Thunderbolt Legs. Lin Feng's attack just now was very fierce, but the Lightning Leg's ability to resist attacks is also very strong. At this time, he has leaned towards Lin Feng again and swept his legs 3 times in a row. Although it is not as fierce as the storm at the beginning, the power is not small. Lin Feng avoided the 3 sweeps of Leiden's leg, and then kicked the calf of Leiden's leg, hitting the right calf of Leiden's leg, causing him to stagger suddenly. In an instant, Lin Feng gave another spin kick, hitting the belly of Leiden's leg, and Leiden's leg flew out with a muffled cry, and fell to the ground again. Both Ye Zi and Hong Ying understood. Although Thunder Leg was a well-known gold medal fighter inside and outside the circle, he was not Lin Feng's opponent, but Ye Zi didn't mean to stop. Thunder Legs is indeed a very persistent person. He stood up again and leaned towards Lin Feng again. Lin Feng was already relatively relaxed. If he wanted, he could even play Thunder Legs as monkeys. Just as Leiden's legs were about to kick up, Lin Feng approached him at the moment of turning sideways, and slapped him suddenly, only to hear a slap. The nosebleed of Leiden's legs burst out, and the moment he stumbled, Lin Feng slapped Leiden's legs with his left and right hands. Clap clap clap. More than 20 slaps fell on the face of Thunderbolt's leg, and the face of Thunderbolt's leg swelled to bread in the shortest time, and fell to the ground with a bang. Ye Zi frowned, but Hong Ying's expression was very strange, as if she wanted to laugh but held back. Lin Feng knew that the Thunder and Lightning Legs could not continue to fight him. He walked towards the leaves with a dashing pace, and smiled. "I'm so sorry, I didn't beat the Thunder and Lightning Legs with the Dragon and Snake Legs in the end, but by slaps, slap in the face. It's really fun to slap." Ye Zi should have been very angry and shameless, but Lin Feng found that Ye Zi's mood was not very bad at this time. Ye didn't pay attention to the swollen face of the Thunderbolt's leg, which was not lightly injured, and looked helplessly at the red shadow beside him, then looked at Lin Feng's face, and sighed, "I wanted to the Lightning Leg broke one of your legs, making you limping on the road in the future. At that time, whenever I see you on the road, I will greet you warmly. It's a pity, your kung fu it's too high, and even the gold medal grenade leg is no match for you." Lin Feng felt that it was necessary to ridicule the Thunderbolt Leg. He looked at the Thunderbolt Leg on the ground with contempt, and chuckled, "Just him. He is not worthy of being my opponent at all." This is what Thunder Leg said to Lin Feng before the fight. At this time, Lin Feng threw it back to him, which made him suffer to a state of shamelessness. At the same time, it also made Ye more sure. Lin Feng, who is usually low-key, is a rare ruthless character. Once played hard, the power is powerful. Lin Feng lit a cigarette and wanted to spit a puff of smoke into Ye Zi's face to tease this rich lady. After thinking about it, let it go. His purpose is to get out of here as soon as possible. Further angering Ye Zi is good for him. "Nothing." Lin Feng said, "When can I leave?" Ye Zi said, 10 days later. Lin Feng said, "Why?" Ye Zidao, "Because I want you to stay here for a longer period of time. You have seen it, I am very luxurious here. This is a luxury you have not experienced before. Don't you want to enjoy it for a while longer?" Lin Feng said, "You are very luxurious here. Maybe I can't have such a big villa in my life, but your luxury here has nothing to do with me. You should let me go. If you are still very angry, insist repair me as fast as possible. Even if I am seriously injured, I don't want to stay with you to recover, I want to leave here. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, Vote for recommended votes and monthly tickets. Your support is my biggest motivation. Mobile phone users, please go to to read. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 301. Yi stared at Lin Feng's face. Gradually, her face turned cold. She stretched out her hand and twisted Lin Feng's arm fiercely. She stood up and said, "Come with me." Lin Feng and Ye went to a bedroom together. Through the furnishings, Lin Feng concluded that this was Ye's bedroom. It was very warm and tasteful. The big bed looked comfortable. Lin Feng didn't see Ye's chest photos and trousers in this room. They should have been placed in the closet. If he opened the closet, he could see a lot of hot and objects. Ye sat on the velvet sofa. Lin Feng hesitated for a moment and sat beside her, taking a deep breath while savoring Ye's intoxicating fragrance again. Ye said, "Take a deep breath, what are you afraid of?" Lin Feng said, "I wasn't afraid when I fought with Leiden's legs just now. Now that the fight is over, I have no reason to be afraid anymore." Ye said, "It doesn't matter if you don't admit it, but I know that you are just very scared, because you think that I am much more scary than Thunder and Lightning Legs." Lin Feng was silent. That's the truth, he is not afraid of Thunder and Lightning Legs, because he can defeat Thunder and Lightning Legs with Dragon and Snake Legs, but he is very afraid of Leaves, because he can't use Dragon and Snake Legs to deal with Leaves, because he can't bear the consequences of doing so. Lin Feng said, "It's like this, I really can't live with you for 10 days, I have to go back and code." Ye said, "You have a few days of manuscripts to save." Lin Feng said, 1 week. Ye, actually, you can also code here with me, but I won't let you code with me. Don't you have a week's worth of manuscripts? Staying here for 10 days is another 3-day break, right? Your book won't have much impact. Lin Feng was immediately excited and roared at Ye, "My book updates have always been stable, there is no interruption, only the addition, you can't treat me like this, or you will be the same as last time. Hit me with the face, the blood is good." Ye will not forget that time. Because of Bai Shan's incident, Lin Feng sat in the car and made her and Hong Ying slapped with blood, but she won't do that this time. She said, "I'm right, you are already very interesting, you can think about it with your conscience. How have I treated you since the affair between you and Bai Shan until now?" Lin Feng said, "I know that you are very interesting to me. Sometimes I even think that you don't hate me very much, and you even treat me as a friend. Yezideo, if I tell you, I will treat you as a friend, can you stay with me for a while longer?" Lin Feng said, "I heard what you just said. I am very happy. If you tell me why, I will stay here for a while longer." Ye said, "You will understand in 10 days." Lin Feng was very puzzled, his curiosity was aroused, and he smiled relievedly, "Okay, I agree, I will live with you for 10 days. Lin Feng can predict. He lives in Ye's luxurious private villa without any danger, but something unexpected may happen to him. Lin Feng lit another cigarette, and when he took the third puff, Ye made an astonishing request. She said, "Can you give me a puff of your cigarette?" Lin Feng didn't react for a while, so he took out a cigarette from the cigarette case and handed it to Ye. "I didn't expect you to smoke too." Ye said, "I'm not asking you to give me another cigarette, I want to smoke the one you're smoking." She snatched the cigarette from Lin Feng's hand, put it in her mouth and took a sip. He coughed quickly, and then returned the cigarette to Lin Feng. Lin Feng was stunned. He couldn't not be stunned. Even if Miss Ye didn't have a habit of cleanliness, it was unlikely that he would smoke the cigarette he had already smoked, but Ye did just that. Lin Feng said, "Ye, my mouth has touched the cigarette. Your mouth has also touched the cigarette. Is it equivalent to the two of us kissing just now?" Ye said, "Don't be stinky with me. Who cares about kissing you, let's talk about it." "That's not a kiss. Oh, by the way, Do you want to ask me about Shen Bingqian? Lin Feng originally thought that Ye Ye would not talk to him about Shen Bingqian, but since Ye Ye mentioned it, he said, actually, I have already understood that Shen Bingqian is already your father's woman, but I don't know whether it is a lover or a lover. Wife. The leaves said, is the wife. Lin Feng said, Shen Bingqian and your father got the certificate? Leaf said, took it. Lin Feng said, didn't Shen Bingqian become your mother? Ye Zi's face was very embarrassed, and she smiled helplessly and said, if you count according to your seniority, your first girlfriend, Shen Bingqian, is indeed my mother now. It's ridiculous. But the facts are in front of you. Lin Feng thought of a very unlikely thing. If Ye Ye became his wife, then Shen Bingqian would be his mother-in-law. It turned out to be his girlfriend. His mother-in-law. Don't watch this kind of absurd joke with Laozi in life. It will make many people laugh out loud. Lin Feng was nervous for a while, and gradually relaxed, because the possibility of Ye Zi marrying him is not even 5%. Ye Zi said, what were you thinking about just now? Lin Feng definitely won't tell his true thoughts just now, otherwise he will be scorned by Ye Ye. He said, I'm thinking, why don't you strongly object? Ye Zidao, no matter what you think of Shen Bingqian, she is a very good woman in my eyes, very smart and capable. She married my father, it is good for my father, she can make my father's life it's richer, and it can help with business. Lin Feng said, what about the wealth? Your father's wealth is in the billions, so aren't you afraid that Shen Bingqian will take a lot of it? Ye Zi said, 30 million. What 30 million? Lin Feng wondered. Before getting the certificate, my dad signed an agreement with Shen Bingqian and made it fair. From that moment until my father's death in the future, if Shen Bingqian has always been his lover, then he will get 30 million. Divorce, then Shen Bingqian won't get a penny, and the 30 million has been transferred to Shen Bingqian's account in advance. Even if she doesn't invest anything, the bank can bring her a considerable interest every year. What's more, she has a position in Hongtu Company with a monthly salary of more than 20,000 yuan, so, your first girlfriend Shen Bingqian, she is now a rich woman. Ye Ye explained the details. Lin Feng has nothing to do with Shen Bingqian anymore. If I have to say that there is a relationship, it is an ordinary friend relationship, but after learning the truth, Lin Feng felt very uncomfortable. This is equivalent to that Shen Bingqian sold herself to Ye Qingchen for 30 million. Very expensive. Some people only need a few thousand or tens of thousands to buy a wife from a remote mountainous area, but Shen Bingqian sold herself for 30 million. Lin Feng said, Bingqian used to be afraid of being poor. Her mother died of poverty. She had diabetes for many years and had no money to take medicine. When she died, she was blind in both eyes. Bingqian liked money very much and wanted to live a rich life. Although she sold herself, she still got her wish. Ye Zi suddenly grabbed Lin Feng's hand tightly and looked at him with serious eyes. Shen Bingqian has such a good boyfriend as you, it's her blessing. Lin Feng said, yeah, do you really think I'm fine? Ye Zi said, if it weren't for the fact that I thought you were a good person, I made you disappear that time. Aren't you very good now? You don't lack arms or legs, and you can sit in a luxurious mansion and chat with me. Lin Feng said, unfortunately, life is always making ridiculous jokes with me, and sometimes it makes me unbearable. Ye Zidao, life has not only played ridiculous jokes with you, but also played ridiculous jokes with many other people, such as me. If you want to cry, then throw yourself into my arms and cry. Within half an hour, I can comfort you, and after half an hour, I may not be in the mood to comfort you. Lin Feng said, can I touch your chest when I jump into your arms and cry? Ye Zi said, no, you bastard, cry if you want, pull down if you don't cry. Why do you touch my chest? Lin Feng pulled Ye Ye into his arms very hard, and stroked her plump chest through the clothes. Oh Do not do that. Do you think I have a crush on you? You bastard, don't touch me, or I'll be angry. Before Ye was in a state of anger, Lin Feng let go of her and said with a smile, I touched you just now, are you comfortable? Ye Zi smiled and said, want to hear the truth? Lin Feng said, since I asked you, it must be to hear the truth, otherwise why would I ask you? Ye said, if you touch me, I'm very comfortable, but I don't want you to touch me. There are many things that are comfortable. Do I have to do them all? When you're with me, you'd better show some respect, so that the friendship between the two of us won't easily wither. Lin Feng lit another cigarette and sighed, I didn't expect that Bing Qian would sell herself to your father, and I didn't expect that you and I would become good friends. Ye Zi said, if you are really a careful person, you will find that you and I were already good friends long before Shen Bingqian sold herself to my dad. Lin Feng said, before I saw your arrogance, of course, and your beauty. Ye said, in the future you will also see my arrogance and my beauty. Lin Feng took Ye Zi to his arms again. When his hand was just about to touch Ye's chest, Ye got angry and shouted, if you touch me again, I will kill you with one shot. Lin Feng knew that even if he continued to touch, Ye would not kill him with a single shot, but Ye would definitely be very angry. Even if he didn't touch the soft piece, Lin Feng didn't want the leaf to be angry, so he didn't continue to touch it. Ye Zi said, there is a situation that may not happen, but I have to remind you boy, now Shen Bingqian is my dad's lover, you can't continue to do that kind of thing with Shen Bingqian, you used to be like Bai Shan, just it's like cuckolding my dad, thinking he's the boss of a big company, cuckolded by you, a lowercase hand, and still in the dark, if you cuckold my dad again, I have to let you die. Lin Feng said, don't worry, no. Ye Zi said, I hope so, otherwise a fiery bullet will shoot through your heart. To be continued. If you like this work, you are welcome to come to the starting point, to vote for a recommendation vote, a monthly pass. Your support is my greatest motivation. Mobile phone users, please go to to read.